Welcome to the Visionaries, Champions of Industry, where we delve into the lives and minds of remarkable individuals who have shaped the business world. I have the pleasure of sitting down with Senior Director and Head of MENA, Mohamed Swidan at Procore Technologies, a leading construction technology company that provides cloud-based software solutions to the construction industry. Without further ado, thank you for coming over today, Mohamed. How are you?
Thank you for hosting me. I'm good. How are you?
Doing very well. Thank you for asking. Now, to start off our interview, I really wanted to ask a little bit about your background. Could you just tell us how come you started working at Procore Technologies?
Yeah, sure. So let me tell you a little bit about my background. I've been in Dubai for quite a long time. I came here as a young boy at 3 years old, so I'm going to reveal my age, but it's been a long time since I've been in Dubai. Dubai has been a fascinating city for me, and the UAE has been a fascinating nation. Although I'm from Egypt originally, but the transformation I've lived through here has always been one that kind of made me realize that there is nothing called impossible. Now, to what got me to Procore, it's a very interesting question. I actually received a LinkedIn message on an evening, midweek, from a recruiter sitting...
As it usually goes.
As it usually goes. From a recruiter sitting out in New York, US, telling me about an opportunity where they wanted to kind of find a leader to build the region. Read a bit more about Procore, and what kind of really attracted me about Procore was what I read online about their culture, you know, what they're doing in terms of impact in the construction industry. And that really got me, you know, having the conversations rolling with Procore. And a few conversations later, I was very excited about the opportunity ahead.
So Procore found you?
Procore found me, and then I found it through the process.
And can you really elaborate on those, let's say, opportunities and challenges that working at Procore presents to someone in your role that is literally leading the whole MENA region?
It's you're taking me down memory lane.
Good. That's my job.
All right, great. So let's go down memory lane. January 2021. This is when I started with Procore, and I was the first person hired to kind of build this region, build the team, build everything around.
A lot of responsibility.
A huge responsibility. You're talking about, you know, an entry to market, you know, understanding the landscape, finding ways for us to kind of find the right people. So really building from scratch, as we say. And, you know, hiring the first few people by June 2021, we're only 6-7 people, right? We're all operating remotely. You know, some of the challenges people don't realize with operating remotely when you're hiring people is how do you build a culture of glueness? How do you build a culture for people to collaborate and support each other when they're not operating every day from a physical space? So that was one of the set of challenges that kind of came on early. And then what also came on early was how do we make sure we're building the right brand in the market, right? How do we ensure we understand our customers, our future prospects, and how do we ensure that we're building a message that resonates with them? And then finding the right people. You know, it's not easy to hire a team of people when you're getting into a market and ensure that you're hiring the right skill set. So when you go from June to December or January 2022, you quickly realize that we've expanded our team. We've doubled in size. We're then by 12, which was a great milestone. But commitment into a region is not only about talent. It's about what kind of functions are you serving in that region. And it was very important for me that we have all customer touch points within the region. So, you know, our prospects and customers are working with us here. And then fast forward September 2022, last year, we opened our office here in Dubai Internet City.
Congratulations.
Thank you very much. A beautiful space and, you know, another statement of, you know, and showing of our commitment to this region. And today we're almost 25 people in the office.
Wow.
So it's been a beautiful journey so far.
Definitely. Now, I'm interested in hearing a bit more about that growth since launching in the region, as it's been so significant for you guys, right? So what key, let's say, initiatives and strategies have really contributed toward this goal?
Yeah, I think I always say there are two main pillars, and they're both around people. One is your customers. You need to understand your customers. You need to be close. There's nothing wrong. On the contrary, I think we should all roll our sleeves and get closer to our customers to understand what are their needs, what are their demands, what are their challenges, what are the feedback they want to share with us, and take all of that in and make sure that we're enhancing, improving, or supporting along their journeys. And number two is to make sure that we're actually hiring the right people to not only be able to cater to the market and, you know, provide that expertise and experience, but also make sure that we're building these expertise in-house, nurturing them, and building that collaborative space for innovation and creativity to kind of pop within the region.
For sure. And as a leader, how do you really identify those potential areas, let's say, of growth, of business development in the construction technology industry?
Look, the construction technology industry is a massive industry. I think one of the most important things for me, I always say, taking things step by step is quite critical. Even if we're gonna do them fast, we need to make sure we're respecting the steps. And in order to understand technology, which is a space that I worked for many years, you quickly realize that it's a journey, right? You can't do everything from day one. So I always say we need to build awareness as a step one. You need to make sure people are aware of what you're trying to do.
Very important.
Very, very critical. Jumping into trying to push something out there is not gonna result into anything. Number two, understand that every customer is on a different journey, right? And you need to be building strategies that are very adaptable. Agility is very key, and agility is a loosely used term today, right? But agility means that you need to have processes, you need to have the ability to be quick in your feet, not only to capture market opportunities, but to serve the current market needs.
And talking about agilities, I mean, change is a constant in the Middle East, particularly when we talk about the construction industry. And we have governments that are implementing all these new initiatives and creating change to boost our city's development at all levels of, let's say, innovation. As a leader, what advice would you potentially give companies that are, let's say, adapting to all of these changes that are made by our governments?
It's a very good question. Change is difficult, and we need to understand that. And we need to start as leaders reflecting on that. Even for us, when we're faced with change, maybe we know how to handle it better, but it's still a difficult process to go through. Biggest advice I always say is you need to take the people through a journey. The first step of going through a change is explaining the why we're going through the change, right? A lot of times we're just rushing into getting it, but not elevating and making sure that we're inspiring everyone in the organization to understand why we're doing this. And what's the outcome post that change, right? When we get into change, we start getting to the nitty-bitty of tactically, how do we do it? But we need to make sure that we're building milestones along the way to ensure that everyone is on the journey. Number two, every change have champions. There will be people that will want to champion that change. These should be your vocalists. They should be the people that are supporting. These are the catalysts that will drive that change within the organization. But I always, if there is one advice I always say is, always remember that change is a journey. You need to take your team, your people, your organization through it, and you need to be over-communicating in periods like this and have truly an open door policy where people can come, ask the difficult questions, and kind of understand where we're heading and any feelings they're dealing with, if you can neutralize them or give them a positive notion of why we're doing this.
Now, to end our interview, since we are running out of time, I just wanted to ask you, if I were to give you a time machine right now and you could go back in time, what would you tell a younger version of yourself?
Oh, wow. I would say embrace the challenges. I think when I came out of university, I thought the world would be green and everything would be easy, and I was super excited about my first job. But I didn't realize that, work, life, everything is gonna pose you with a lot of challenges. And the faster you embrace it, the more open you are to growth. Because it's truly in the uncomfortable space that you're growing. Either you're growing your skill set, your resilience, your ability to problem solve, but you're growing.
Definitely.
And I truly believe, and I would advise my younger self with this, that every challenge is a blessing. And you should go into it knowing that you're gonna come out prepared for something even better.
That's a beautiful way to end the interview. Thank you so much for coming over, Mohamed, today. Beautiful insights. I gotta tell you, even motivated me for the rest of the day today. And hope to see you again in the future.
Thank you very much for hosting me. It has been a pleasure talking to you in this conversation.
Thank you. Mohamed Swidan's vision for the future of the construction industry in the MENA region is both inspiring and visionary. I hope this episode has provided you with a glimpse into the minds of industry leaders who are shaping the world we live in. As we move forward, let us be inspired by these champions of industry. With you was multimedia producer Mina Vucic. See you next week. Until then, stay inspired.